Welcome back to the channel. I just wanted to say before the video really got started, a quick thank you to everybody that's watched the channel. We've recently passed 1 million views and recorded 7,500 subscribers. Whilst it doesn't mean that we think we're a big channel, but we're really grateful and delighted for every view we've had. We've tried to do it right and we've been prepared to grow ethically. So back to the video. We need to give you a little bit of context. Porto is often seen as one big city, a municipality if you like, but it's actually a consolidation of a number of surrounding areas. There are two cities really in real terms, Porto and Gaia, separated by the river Douro. Porto is a grand city, full of historical context and interesting streets. A large city as you would expect, with a cathedral, fine monasteries, and magnificent historical imprint. A population just under 250,000 people, passionate about its football. Jose Mourinho once managed here and conquered Europe. Stand by for full cultural immersion, it's a place that sings to you. Gaia, on the other hand, is where the famous port wine houses are located. Tours and tastings are available. The river means that getting across requires a bridge or a boat. The tourists always aim for the Louis I bridge, and so they should. It's an amazing sight. You can walk, bike or catch the tram across the top deck, and vehicles are allowed on the second deck below. Boats are in play, of course, both for touring and for taxiing, and there's a funicular railway on the Porto side and a cable car ride on the Gaia side, which get you from the riverside up into the city quite quickly if you don't want to walk. In this video we're going to show you Gaia and its breathtaking views, but we're also going to show you the site we stayed on. We probably had the best welcome and the best hospitality we've ever encountered on the site. That's against some stiff competition, so we're delighted to actually recommend this site to you. In part 2 next week, we'll take you into the historic core of Porto itself. Stand by to be wowed. Istas Gardens campsite is conveniently located, and to be fair, it's just lovely. It's not a big site, about a dozen pitches, but it's well equipped, private pitches surrounded by flowers, and the facilities are of a high quality and are kept spotless with everything you'll need. More importantly for us, it's located an easy 2 kilometres from the beach and just 8 kilometres from Porto, which can be accessed by bike on well-established cycle routes, by bus, or by Uber, which is your friend here. It's a really good service and we used it virtually daily for just a couple of euros each way. There is weekly wine tasting put on by our hosts on the site. You get to know a little bit more about Portuguese wine and of course port wine, which it's famous for. And make no mistake, this is 5-star camping where the owners are just lovely, genuine people. This isn't budget camping, but if you want quality and accessibility to Porto, this is head and shoulders above the competition. On our first day, we turned right out of the campsite, walked along the boardwalk, and onwards towards the coast. It's about a 2-kilometre walk, and it's very flat and very accessible once you get past the boardwalk. It then takes you onto another boardwalk which takes you alongside the beach. A lot of the beaches don't allow dogs, but on here it's permissible. And it gives you a really good view of things, although of course Poppy, being a Norfolk beach dog, was disappointed that she couldn't go and run in the sand. But that's just the rules, unfortunately. On the way down there we came across an incident, but thankfully first responders were on scene and had the bushfire under control. But we did have a good laugh because he was summoning us through at this point and we thought we'd better off waiting till the flames were under control. But he seemed to be in charge and happy in his work. So we pushed on. The beaches here are beautiful and as good as anything really on the Algarve, we think. We really enjoy the west coast of Portugal. It's got a freshness about it and it's not quite so densely populated with tourists. It isn't long, of course, before something really interesting comes into view, and this is the chapel that was built in the 17th century. It's known as the Chapel of the Lord of Stones. and it's quite an interesting location. It's a chapel that you can look around during the day, during opening hours, and it's built on rocks, and it's been around for a long time, and it's just as nice to see at sunset as it is at sunrise and any other part of the day. Later on that night, we went out with the hosts of the site, Pedro and Claudia, for a meal in the city, in that Gaia, that is, not Porto itself, in a fish restaurant where the fish were cooked outside. It was really interesting to watch them cook it. And then you ate inside. It's quite a special experience, really. And I could have sat there and watched them cooking these fish expertly for quite a while. The food, of course, was very nice, as was the wine. Being a fan of urban art, I was quite pleased to see this piece of work by Bordello II, a kind of Portuguese Banksy. It's made out of trash. It's really quite a thing that he does. He tries to draw attention to the wastefulness of the world. But having enjoyed this meal greatly, and the company as well, which was really quite entertaining, we then headed out, having taken a few pictures, to see some sights looking over the city from Gaia, over the bridge, both from up high and from the actual side of the bridge itself, and we drank some more Portuguese wine and enjoyed some lovely company. It was a special night, we won't forget it, and these photographs will be among our favourites. Having recovered from a great night in Porto and Gaia, we decided to test the 8-kilometre route back towards Porto on the bikes, before very quickly joining what is a very established cycleway. It's signposted, easy to ride, and it's quite pleasant really. One thing you notice about this place is that lots of people are exercising, walking, biking, riding, all the way along the seafront. But we're heading north at this point, towards the river and down into Gaia itself. But it wasn't long before we got stuck in the middle of a huge event. What do you think of Sunday morning in Porto then?
Madness. Complete madness.
We've always had a thing about cable cars and gondolas, so we couldn't give this one a miss. We took the ride to the top to have another better look down over the port of Porto. And really that's where we're going to leave it this week, but next, in part 2, we've got some phenomenal things for you to see. We really get into the elements of the city of Porto which make it what it is. It's a wonderful place and we hope you'll join us. Thanks for watching. Martin out.